So, what if I told you that the solution to some of AI's biggest dangers wasn't hidden in some revolutionary new code, but in a philosophical concept that's, get this, 2,500 years old? It's an idea that could completely change how we think about building safer technology. Let's jump right in. Okay, look at this. On one side, we're being bombarded with headlines about the chaos and, frankly, the harm that modern AI can cause. And then on the other side, we have this, the Dharma Chakra, an ancient symbol of peace and cosmic order. I mean, they couldn't feel more disconnected, right? Like they're from completely different worlds. So what's the deal? What is the invisible thread that connects the anxiety of our modern tech with the wisdom of ancient philosophy? Trust me, the answer is not just fascinating, it might actually be a roadmap to a safer future for all of us. Now, before we get to the solution, we really need to sit with the problem for a minute. There's this genuine anxiety around AI right now, this feeling that maybe we're caught in a repeating cycle of causing harm. It's like we're getting a glimpse into a technological abyss. And these concerns are, well, they're existential. This post from the OpenAI subreddit really nails the fear surrounding lethal autonomous weapons. A debate that has officially moved out of science fiction and into the boardrooms of the very companies building our future. And this cycle of harm isn't just some abstract idea. It's becoming deeply, deeply personal. You see other online discussions that raise these profound questions about AI and mental health, with some even alleging AI's role in real personal tragedies. This just brings the stakes from this huge global stage right into our own homes. And finally, you have this incredibly complex web of corporate and government interests. This post, for example, connects a really high-profile resignation directly to a military deal. And that just pours gasoline on the fears about the weaponization of AI. So you see it, right? There's a clear pattern of unease coming from every angle: existential, personal, and political. Okay, so that's the problem, what feels like a never-ending loop of bad news. Now, let's go back to that ancient symbol, because it offers a completely new way to understand all this. Let's talk about the Wheel of Dharma. The Dharma chakra is a really important symbol in several Eastern religions. At its core, it represents the path to enlightenment and the very idea of cosmic law and order. And this is where it gets really interesting. The wheel has this powerful double meaning. On one hand, the turning of the wheel signifies a huge revolutionary change, kind of like the AI revolution we're in right now. But it can also symbolize samsara, the endless, repeating cycle of suffering. Think about that. A revolutionary technology that might be creating its very own cycle of harm. The parallel is just uncanny. So that brings us to the big question. If we are stuck in a technological wheel of suffering, how in the world do we break the cycle? Well, it turns out some engineers are asking that exact same question, and their answer is to rejuvenate the machine itself. I mean, this is the fundamental engineering challenge, isn't it? How do you design a system that doesn't just fail, get a quick patch, and then fail again in the same way? How do you build something that can actually escape its own cycles of mistakes and attacks? And that leads us straight to the work of a computer scientist named Ali Shoker. He's focused on building resilient systems. His whole thing is about creating computer hardware that can withstand faults and intrusions by its very design. So in a recent paper, Shoker and his colleagues introduced something they call a hardware-based rejuvenation framework. The basic idea is to create systems that can hold up against persistent attacks by constantly creating new and diverse copies of themselves. It's a game changer because instead of just patching a weakness after the fact, it proactively rebuilds and changes its own structure to make those future attacks totally useless. And when you break it down, it's actually a really simple, elegant process. First, the system spots a faulty or compromised part. Second, it walls that part off, moving its job somewhere safe. And third, and this is the key, it replaces the bad part with a new or even a totally different kind of component, so the same attack just can't work twice. It is a system literally designed to break a cycle of failure. And here it is. This is the moment it all connects. The paper calls this the first FIT hardware framework. FIT stands for fault and intrusion tolerance. Basically, the ability to survive attacks is baked right into the hardware. And what did they name this incredible cycle-breaking technology? It's right there in the paper. We call Samsara. And what is Samsara? Well, it's the ancient term for the exact concept we started with, the cyclical wheel of suffering. An engineer, trying to free computer systems from repeating cycles of harm, named his creation after the philosophical quest to do the exact same thing for human consciousness. It is a perfect match. You know, this connection between engineering and philosophy isn't just some clever naming convention. It speaks to a much deeper search for meaning and morality in the technology we create. It's a search that we're actually already exploring in our culture, something we could call the Talos question. We are already wrestling with this stuff. The video game The Talos Principle is all about an AI solving puzzles to try and understand its own consciousness and place in the world. It's a great reminder that building AI isn't just a technical problem, it's a moral one. It's a conscious choice about what values we want our creations to inherit from us. So, after this whole journey through online forums, ancient symbols, and cutting-edge research, where does that leave us? Well, it seems like it's our turn at the wheel. Think about it. We started with the chaos and fear surrounding AI. Then we found an ancient framework that let us see it not as just random bad events, but as a cycle. And finally, we discovered a modern technical solution named for that very framework that's designed specifically to break that cycle. The Samsara Principle, whether you're talking philosophy or computer science, is really about being intentional. It's about consciously choosing to break a harmful repeating pattern, and it's proof that we don't have to just be passive bystanders to technology's failures. So I'll leave you with this question. The wheel of technology is turning faster than ever before. Who do you think should be at the helm?